Good morning, everyone. In the last video, we discussed about suppressed carrier modulation schemes. In that, we studied about double sideband suppressed carrier modulation, which is also known as DSBSC, and we also studied single sideband modulation. From AM, if the carrier is removed, we get double sidebands. We call it as DSBSC. The advantage is power saving. Carrier power is saved. Both the sidebands contains the message signal. It is not necessary to transmit two sidebands. If you remove one sideband, if you transmit only one sideband, there is no loss for the information transmission. So if carrier and one of the sidebands is removed from AM wave, we will be getting the modulation scheme known as single sideband modulation. The advantage of the single sideband modulation is much of the power saving. Not only that, we will be getting a bandwidth reduced by 2, thereby we can accommodate more number of channels that can be provided through the SSB modulation scheme. So in this video, we are going to discuss about another variation of AM known as vestigial sideband modulation, which is also called as VSB modulation. And finally, we will discuss about applications of AM, DSBSC, SSB, and VSB modulation schemes. The main objectives of this lesson are, upon completion of this topic, the students will be able to know about vestigial sideband modulation, VSB. What are the advantages of vestigial sideband modulation? Advantages of DSBSC, advantages of SSB, and finally the applications of AM, DSBSC, SSB, and VSB modulation schemes. In the previous videos, we studied about amplitude modulation, DSBSC modulation. Two important parameters of a communication system are transmitting power and bandwidth. Hence, saving of power and bandwidth are highly desirable in a communication system. The carrier wave is completely independent of the information carrying signal or information bearing signal or baseband signal, which means that the transmission of the carrier wave represents a wastage of bandwidth and wastage of power. In order to save the power in amplitude modulation, the carrier is suppressed because it does not contain any useful information. This scheme is called double sideband suppressed carrier modulation scheme, DSBSC. It contains only LSB and USB. That results the transmission bandwidth, which is equal to twice the highest frequency present in the message signal. So there is a power saving. The amount of power saving is the carrier power is saved. For maximum modulation index, by using DSP modulation scheme, we will be getting 66.66% of the total power is saved. So the main advantage of DSBSC modulation scheme compared with the standard AM is saving in power, but the bandwidth required for DSBSC channel is same as that of AM channel. In the last class, we also studied about single sideband modulation, SSB modulation scheme, amplitude modulation, and double sideband suppressed carrier modulation are wasteful of bandwidth because they both require transmission bandwidth equal to twice the message bandwidth. In either case, one half of the bandwidth is occupied by the USB of the modulated wave. So whereas other half is occupied by the LSB. However, the upper and lower sidebands are uniquely related to each other by virtue of their symmetry. about the carrier frequency. That means, given the amplitude and frequency spectrum of either sidebands, we can uniquely determine the other. This means that insofar as the transmission of information is concerned, only one sideband is necessary. If the carrier and other sidebands are suppressed at the transmitter, no information is lost. Thus, the communication channel needs only the same bandwidth as that of the message signal bandwidth. When only one sideband is transmitted, the modulation scheme is referred to as single sideband modulation. So SSB offers many advantages. First, the spectrum space occupied by the SSB signal is only half that of AM and DSBAC signals. This greatly conserves the spectrum space and allows more signals to be transmitted. The second benefit is that all the power of the carrier and other sidebands can be cancelled out, channeled out into a single sideband, thereby producing a stronger signal that should carry farther and be more reliable received at the distant end. The other benefit is that there is less noise on the signal. If the signal bandwidth is restricted and the received circuits are made with a narrow bandwidth, a great amount of noise is filtered out. So there is a less fading in SSB modulation compared to AM. Because of all these advantages, we will be going for the SSB modulation scheme. In spite of the several advantages, there are some drawbacks of the SSB modulation scheme. The generation is very difficult because we have to remove the unwanted sideband. So generation of DSBSC waveform, we require message signal, Hilbert transform of the message signal, we require phase shifts, and it is difficult to isolate the unwanted sideband. And hence ideal filters are required. So ideal filter means there should be a sharp cutoff frequencies. So otherwise the wanted sideband some portion may be clipped off. So selective filters is to be used to reconstruct the signal at the receiving end. The filter should be highly selective in order to reconstruct the original message at the receiving end. So in order to overcome these drawbacks, VSB modulation scheme is used, which is a compromise between DSBSC and SSB. And hence, to provide the, if we use a DSBSC modulation scheme, we require more bandwidth. If we use SSB modulation scheme, we require half of the bandwidth of DSBSC, but the generation of SSB is difficult. Ideal filters are required. Selective filters are to be used at the receiving end. To overcome these drawbacks, we will suggest another modulation scheme known as vestigial sideband modulation scheme. So what is a vestigial sideband modulation scheme? It's simply, we call it as VSB modulation. In this, one sideband and a part of the other sideband is transmitted. The part of the other sideband, we call it as vestige of the other sideband. So we are transmitting one sideband and a part of the other sideband in VSB modulation. So SSB modulation is well suited for transmission of voice because there exists energy gap between 0 and few hundred hertz. That means the voice frequencies starting from 300 Hz to 3.4 kilohertz, 0 to 300 Hz, there are no voice frequencies. That is the reason there exists the energy gap, and hence SSB modulation can be used. When we are trying to isolate the other sideband, there are no frequencies nearer to 0. Voice frequency starts from 300 Hz onwards, and hence there is no problem for the voice signals. So SSB modulation is well suited for transmission of voice signals because there exists the energy gap between 0 and up to 300 Hz frequencies. But in case of TV and telegraphy, which contains extremely low frequencies, Telegraph signal is a extremely low frequency. Near to zero frequencies are there in telegraphy transmission. Similarly, in television transmission of the video signal, nearer to zero frequencies are also very important. The 0 hertz frequency in television video is nothing but average brightness. That brightness is very important content, and hence SSB is inappropriate due to difficulty in isolation of one sideband. So to overcome these drawbacks, so we will suggest another method known as vestigial sideband modulation. And hence, in case of television transmission of the video signals and telegraph transmission, VSB modulation is particularly used. Vestigial sideband modulation to overcome the two difficulties of the SSB modulations allows a small amount or a vestige of the unwanted sideband to appear at the output of an SSB modulator. The design of the sideband filter is simplified since the need for sharp cutoff at the carrier frequency is eliminated, whereas in SSB modulation scheme, we require sharp cutoff frequencies because for transmission of a wanted sideband and a part of the other sideband, there is no need of ideal filters. So there is no need for sharp cutoff filters. So design of the sideband filters is very much simplified in vestigial sideband modulation. In addition, a VSB system has improved frequency response and can even have DC response also. To produce SSB signal from DSBSC, ideal filters are to be used. In VSB, one sideband and vestige of the other sideband is transmitted. Hence, it eliminates the need for ideal filters. It is a compromise between DSBSC and SSB. That means its bandwidth is slightly higher than SSB and less than DSBSC modulation. So bandwidth is slightly greater than SSB and less than DSBSC modulation scheme. So because of all these advantages, VSB modulation is particularly used for telegraph transmission as well as transmission of video signals in TV picture transmission. So compare the spectrum of DSBSC, SSB and VSB modulation schemes. So here the first one is the spectrum of the original message signal, M of omega versus omega. Original message signal is having bandwidth B. So its spectrum is occupying on either side positive frequencies and negative frequencies. If we take the Fourier transform, we will be getting the spectrum on either side. So this spectrum is translated onto a carrier by making use of DSBSC. So if you see the spectrum of the DSBSC, this original message is shifted by omega C towards right side and omega C towards left side. There is no carrier in this. It contains both the side bands. This is the upper side band and this is the lower side. From this DSBSC spectrum, if one of the side bands is removed, see here the lower side band is removed. So here only upper side band is transmitted. This modulation scheme, we call it as SSB modulation scheme. See the spectrum of the VSB, in addition to the wanted side band, that is the upper side band, a small portion, which is also known as vestige of the other side band, upper side band, and vestige of the lower side band is transmitted in case of DSBSC. I repeat, this is the spectrum of the original message. When it is placed onto a carrier, the spectrum is shifted by omega C towards right side and omega C towards left side, and we will be getting the DSBSC modulation signal, which contains both the side bands, upper side band and lower side band. If you use ideal filter, band pass filter, it eliminates the lower sideband, but here sharp cutoff filters are required to filter out the unwanted component. It is not possible to produce sharp cutoff, so we provide a small compromise here. The wanted sideband, that is the upper sideband, and a part of the lower sideband, and there is no need for ideal bandpass filters to remove the unwanted sideband. That is the main advantage of the VSB. So when you compare with the DSBSC, this much bandwidth is required for DSBSC, which is equal to twice the message signal frequency, 2 times FM, whereas in case of SSB, it is equal to 1 time the message signal frequency, whereas VSBSC, the bandwidth occupied by VSB signal is just equal to 1 times the message signal frequency and a small bandwidth, vestigial bandwidth, a small bandwidth, a bandwidth slightly higher than the SSB, but less than DSBSC. And hence we say that VSB modulation is a compromise between DSBSC and vestigial sideband modulation. So I repeat the main important points of this VSBSC. SSB modulation is well suited for transmission of voice because of the energy gap that exists in the spectrum of voice signals between 0 and few hundred hertz. When the baseband signals contains significant components at extremely lower frequencies, as in the case of television, video, and telegraph signals, the use of SSB modulation is inappropriate for transmission of such baseband signals due to the difficulty of isolating one sideband. The low video frequencies contains the most important information of the picture, and any effort to completely suppress the lower sideband would result in distortion at these frequencies. These difficulties suggest another scheme known as vestigial sideband modulation, which is also called as VSB, which is a compromise between SSB and DSB modulation schemes. In this modulation scheme, one sideband along with trace or vestige of the other sideband is transmitted, and hence the bandwidth is equal to the message signal frequency plus a small portion of the vestige is required. So VSB modulation has the virtue of conserving bandwidth almost as efficient as SSB modulation while retaining the excellent low frequency baseband characteristics. Thus, VSB modulation has become standard for transmission of television signals. This is the magnitude response of the VSB filter. This is the carrier frequency FC, and this is the upper sideband FC plus W. W is the bandwidth of the message signal. This portion is the upper sideband. We are drawing the graph between frequency response of the VSB filter with respect to frequency, magnitude of the VSB filter with respect to frequency. This filter has to pass this upper sideband, that is FC to FC plus FM or FC to FC plus W. In addition to that, a part of the lower sideband. The lower sideband is from FC minus FV. FV is the frequency of the vestige. Instead of transmitting the similar portion of the lower sideband, we are transmitting a part of the lower sideband. So upper sideband and a part of the lower sideband is to be passed, and hence VSB filter, the frequency response characteristic should vary from, should have the response from FC minus FV to FC plus W. There is no need of sharp cutoff frequencies as in the case of SSB modulation. In SSB modulation, the filter should be sharp enough at FC and FC plus W. Here the filter need not be sharp enough. We are providing a certain gap here, that is FC minus FV, and hence VSB filter has a margin cutoff frequency from FC minus FE to FC plus W. So these frequency components would be passed by the VSB filter. The design of the filter is very much easier than the design of the SSB filters used. The most important application of VSB is transmission of the video signal in TV. So see the spectrum here. This is the video signal spectrum, and this is particularly important application of the VSB. So on y-axis we have the amplitude, on x-axis we have the frequency in megahertz. For one channel of television, we require a total bandwidth of 7 megahertz. From here to here, the bandwidth requirement is 7 megahertz. Assume that at this 0, on a scale of 0 to 7 megahertz, at 0, we have the picture carrier. And at a distance of 4.433 megahertz, nearly 4.5 megahertz, there is a color signal spectrum. This video black and white portion, and there is a color signal spectrum. Color subcarrier is located at 4.433 megahertz. Similarly, from picture carrier, a head of 5.5 megahertz, that means after 5.5 megahertz, on a scale of 0 to 7 megahertz, there is a sound carrier. This is the sound carrier. This is the spectrum of the sound. So the video signal, it is modulated by using vestigial sideband modulation. Audio signal, it is modulated by using frequency modulation in case of TV transmission. That means a television transmission signal which occupies a total 7 megahertz bandwidth for each television channel. For its transmission of video, we make use of VSB modulation, and we make use of frequency modulation for transmission of the audio. That means there are two types of modulations that are required. One is a vestigial sideband modulation for transmission of the video, and frequency modulation for the transmission of audio. See here, the video signal picture carrier is positioned at 0. For example, if we take a channel from 61 to 68 megahertz, a 7 megahertz bandwidth. Let us say take a particular channel of television 61 to 68 megahertz. 61 is at this position. Picture carrier is at 61 megahertz. That is the 0 reference we have taken. 0 to 7 megahertz. So picture carrier is positioned at this 0, and sound carrier is positioned at 5.5 megahertz on a 0 to 7 megahertz scale. Okay, there is a large separation between the picture carrier and sound carrier, so that there is no interference between the picture and sound of the television signal. The color signal, we have color subcarrier at 4.433 megahertz. We will be getting the color signal spectrum. This side band, we call it as the upper side band. This is the upper side band. This portion is the upper side band. So in vestigial sideband modulation, we are transmitting the upper side band and a part of the lower side band. This is the part of the lower side band, 1.25 megahertz. From 0 to 1.25 megahertz, this is the part of the lower side band. So we are transmitting upper side band and vestige of the lower side band. In addition to this, after modulation, it is occupying this frequency spectrum. In TV transmission, we need to transmit the audio signals also. The audio is modulated by using FM, and hence The sound carrier is positioned at 5.5 megahertz. So with the help of the sound carrier at 5.5 megahertz distance from the picture carrier, we are making use of the frequency modulation of the sound signal, and this signal we call it as the composite video signal. In addition to this, we are having the sync signals, vertical sync, horizontal sync for transmission of the television. For scanning purpose, for synchronization purpose, we require sync pulses, sync signal, scanning, vertical scanning pulses, horizontal scanning pulses need to be transmitted along with this audio and video components. So we are taking an example of 61 to 68 megahertz channel. 61 at 61 megahertz, we have the picture carrier. At 61 plus 5.5 megahertz, 66.5 megahertz, the sound carrier is available, so that there is no interference between the video components and the audio components. Here this is 61. Below it there is a lower sideband, 61 minus 1.25. This is positioned at that particular place, and hence you take any channel 40 to 47 or 47 to 54 or 54 to 61 or 61 to 68. It occupies the total 7 megahertz bandwidth. You can make use of this particular frequency spectrum, which is there from 0 to 7 megahertz, and then you can translate on to a particular television channel of frequency, and hence this is particularly suitable for TV transmission. We are transmitting upper sideband and a part of the lower sideband, and then we have sound carrier. If a modulation is done with the help of the sound carrier, this is the overall frequency response characteristics of the video and audio signal, which occupies a total of 7 megahertz bandwidth. So this is in case of a PAL system, which was used in India, phase alteration by line. 625 scanning line system is particularly used in India, and this is the frequency spectrum of the vestigial sideband modulation, which shows the picture carrier, sound carrier, color subcarrier, and the total bandwidth requirement per each television signal. So with this frequency response characteristics, you will be able to know where the picture carrier is positioned, where the sound carrier is positioned, and what is the bandwidth requirement related to the picture carrier. So where is the sound carrier and how much bandwidth is the total requirement. Now the basic advantages of the VSB are bandwidth is reduced considerably, slightly higher bandwidth than SSB. The total power requirement can be saved. So low power compared to DSB-SC, whereas slight increase of power in case of VSB compared to SSB. The design of the sideband filters becomes very easy. So in spite of these advantages, we have bandwidth of VSB slightly higher than SSB. This is not at all a disadvantage. A small amount of higher bandwidth is required than SSB. So to compare with the advantages, we can easily overcome this particular disadvantage. Now let us compare all the variations of AM. First we take the standard AM wave. It is a double, two sidebands are present and carrier is present. The advantages are filters to separate out bands are not required. We are not using any band pass filters. We are transmitting two sidebands and a carrier, and there is no need of filters. It is particularly used for broadcasting radio channels, and it is a relatively simple technique. Modulation and demodulation equipment is very simple, and it is very easy to transmit the standard AM wave, and it is very easy to demodulate the message signal at the distant end. But there are disadvantages: less number of channels due to more bandwidth, The bandwidth requirement of AM wave is equal to 2 times the highest frequency component present in the message signal, and hence it requires more bandwidth. Because of that, we can accommodate a less number of channels. And distortion is amplified due to the carrier. Carrier is present, so the total transmitted power in AM, it is just equal to the carrier power plus upper sideband power plus lower sideband power. Because of transmission of the carrier, which is unnecessary component, and hence there is a distortion in the amplifier due to the carrier. There is a crosstalk due to presence of the carrier. Carrier is unwanted component which is generated in the process of AM. When message signal is added to the carrier, we will be getting an AM wave which contains carrier and upper sideband and lower sideband. Due to the presence of the carrier, there will be a crosstalk, and most of the transmitting power is being wasted in the carrier. And hence, standard AM, we have advantages. Filters used to separate out bands are not necessary. It is used for broadcasting. The main reason for wide use of AM is the relative simplicity of modulating and demodulating equipment. The disadvantages are fewer channels are possible due to the more bandwidth requirement. Filters of large bandwidths are required. Distortion in amplifier is possible due to the carrier. Crosstalk due to the presence of carrier. Line should be capable of carrying carrier power in carrier systems. In carrier systems, there are lines from sending end to the receiving end, open wire lines, and those lines should be capable of carrying large amount of power, because in AM the power requirement is equal to PC into 1 plus m square by 2. The total power is a large, and hence lines should be capable of carrying carrier power in large carrier power in carrier systems. Most of the transmitted power is being wasted in the carrier itself, which does not contain any meaningful information. So to overcome these drawbacks, we will be going for DSPSC modulation. The advantages are power is saved compared to AM. How much power is saved? The carrier is suppressed, and hence the amount of carrier power is saved. So the total power in case of DSB is equal to total sideband power. The expression for this is PC into m square by 2. The total sideband power is equal to upper sideband power plus lower sideband power. So PC into m square by 4 plus PC into m square by 4, which is equal to PC into m square by 2. Carrier power is saved. For maximum modulation index, there is a power saving of 66.66% in case of DSBSC modulation scheme. And hence it is a power efficient than AM. The system performance is identical to that of AM. The reason is it contains both the sidebands, upper sideband, lower sideband. Its bandwidth requirement is same as that of AM. So DSBSC requires same transmission bandwidth as that of AM. The transmission bandwidth of DSBSC modulation scheme is equal to 2 times the highest frequency present in the message. So another advantage of DSBSC is lines need not carry transmitted power. That carrier power need not be transmitted. Only upper sideband and lower sideband power can be transmitted. The drawback of the AM is the line should carry the carrier power and also the upper sideband and lower sideband. Here there is no need of transmitting the carrier power. Carrier is suppressed. So lines need not carry the carrier power. It has to carry only the sideband power. The disadvantage is it requires synchronous detection in the receiver. Since we are eliminating the carrier, the recovery becomes somewhat difficult because there is no carrier. The presence of carrier is required at the receiving end. And hence there is a need for carrier recovery circuit in the receiver. From the received sidebands, we need to recover the carrier, or we need to generate the same carrier as that of the carrier generated in the transmitter, and we can make use of that carrier for synchronous detection in the receiver of the DSPSC modulation schemes. The main important points of the DSPSC are the main advantages are power is saved compared to AM. System performance is identical to that of AM. Lines need not carry transmitted power. It requires synchronous detection in the receiver. The reason is two important parameters of a communication system. We have transmitting power and bandwidth. Hence, saving of power and bandwidth are highly desirable in a communication system. The carrier wave is completely independent of the information bearing signal or baseband signal, which means that the transmission of the carrier wave represents wastage of power. In order to save the power in the amplitude modulation, the carrier is suppressed because it does not contain any meaningful information, and hence we will be getting the DSP-based modulation scheme. It contains only LSB and USB, resulting in the transmission bandwidth same as that of AM, but there is a power saving. The amount of power is saved, the carrier power is saved, so power is saved compared to AM. The system performance is identical to that of AM. Lines need not carry transmitted power, that is the carrier power. It has to carry the upper sideband and lower sideband power. Since we are not transmitting any carrier from transmitter to receiver, there is a need for carrier in the recovery at the receiving end, or there is a need for generation of the local carrier at the receiving end. So hence it requires synchronous detection in the receiver. Now let us see the advantages of single sideband modulation. Much of the power saving. SSB main advantage is much of the power saving since we are transmitting only one sideband. The other primary important advantage is reduction in bandwidth. Bandwidth is reduced by 2. We are transmitting only one sideband, and hence bandwidth is reduced by 2. It requires the transmission bandwidth, which is equal to half of 4 AM bandwidth, or it requires a transmission bandwidth equal to half of the DSPSC bandwidth. Because of this reduction in bandwidth and removal of one sideband and carrier, there is a greater power efficiency. Power is very much saved. Since the bandwidth is reduced, there is a reduction of noise, less fading effect, there are less fluctuations in the received signal in case of single sideband modulation. Reduction of carrier interference with other stations and allocation of more number of channels. So allocation of more number of channels, there is no need for lines to carry carrier power and one sideband power. These are all the advantages of SSB modulation scheme. There is no interference, there is no noise, reduction of noise, and as we have seen that amplitude modulation and double sideband suppressor carrier modulation are wasteful of bandwidth because they both require transmission bandwidth. equal to twice the message bandwidth. In either case, one half of the bandwidth is occupied by the USB of the modulated wave, whereas other half is occupied by the LSB. However, the upper and the lower sidebands are uniquely related to each other by virtue of the symmetry about the carrier frequency. That is, given the amplitude and frequency spectrum of either sideband, that means given the amplitude and frequency spectrum of upper sideband, we can easily reconstruct the lower sideband because of the symmetry. And hence there is no need for transmission of one more sideband, and hence we suppress one sideband. We are transmitting only one sideband in case of SSB modulation. If the carrier and other sidebands are suppressed at the transmitter, no information is lost. Thus, the communication channel needs only the same bandwidth as that of the message signal bandwidth. When only one sideband is transmitted, the modulation system is referred to as a single sideband modulation system. The main advantages of SSB modulation are much of power saving since only one sideband is transmitted. Greater reduction in the bandwidth, reduction of noise, less fading effect, reduction of carrier interference with other stations. There is no need for lines to carry the carrier power, the lines to carry only one sideband power. In spite of many advantages, we have some disadvantages of SSB modulation also. Increased complexity in the design of radio receivers and transmitters. Complexity is there. From the received only one sideband, we are supposed to recover the original message. And hence, there is an increased complexity in the design of radio transmitters as well as receivers. And it is necessary to send filet carrier for the purpose of synchronous demodulation. A carrier is also to be sent, or else use the carrier recovery circuit in the receiver. That carrier is used for the demodulation purpose, recovering the original message signal from the received modulated signal. Receiving equipment is costly because of so many operations we are doing in single sideband modulation. Now let us compare all these types of modulation schemes by taking a certain number of parameters. So let us take a DSBSC full carrier. This is the standard AM. DSBSC double sideband full carrier is the standard AM. DSBSC suppressed carrier. This is a DSBSC waveform. Two sidebands, carrier is suppressed. This is the SSB modulation scheme, single sideband, only one sideband. And this is the vestigial sideband modulation, which we have discussed in detail in this lesson. Let us take the parameter carrier suppression. There is no need of carrier suppression in AM. AM contains carrier, upper sideband, lower sideband. Whereas in DSBSC, the carrier is fully suppressed. Whereas in SSB modulation, the carrier is fully suppressed. It is not applicable in case of VSB. Sideband suppression, not necessary. DSBSC and yet one sideband completely, one sideband suppressed partially. There is no need of suppression of the carrier here. Here DSBSC suppression of the sideband. When you take a sideband, there is no need of sideband suppression. There is no need of sideband suppression. Here, one sideband is to be completely suppressed. Here, one sideband is partially suppressed. A part of the other sideband is also to be transmitted. Bandwidth requirement of AM is 2 times the message signal frequency because of 2 sideband transmission. DSBSC also requires 2 times FM. SSB requires only 1 sideband and its bandwidth is equal to highest frequency present in the message signal. BSB bandwidth is higher than the message bandwidth. BSB bandwidth is higher than the bandwidth requirement of SSB, but less than the bandwidth requirement of DSBSC. Transmission efficiency is minimum in case of AM. DSBSC it is moderate. SSB it is maximum. VSB moderate means it is a moderate compared to SSB, but it is a maximum efficiency compared to DSBSC or standard AM. Number of modulating inputs, we have one here. Audio signal, FM modulation, video signal, stereo sideband modulation. In case of television transmission, it is possible. Applications of AM, radio broadcasting. DSBSC also radio broadcasting, but the DSBSC is generally used for generation of SSB. SSB modulation, point-to-point mobile communication, landline telephony, carrier systems. These are the various applications of SSB. Whereas VSB, voice signal transmission of television picture and telegraph. These are the various applications of VSB. And let us summarize all these comparisons once again. For AM, there is no need of carrier suppression. For DSBSC, SSB, full carrier suppression is required, whereas VSB is not applicable. Sideband suppression, in AM, no need of sideband suppression. DSBS also no need of sideband suppression, whereas in SSB, one sideband is to be completely suppressed. And VSB, a part of the other sideband we are transmitting, so one sideband is partially suppressed. The bandwidth requirement of AM is equal to 2 FM, DSBS is equal to 2 FM, and SSB is equal to FM. VSB bandwidth is slightly higher than SSB bandwidth and less than the DSBSC bandwidth. Transmission efficiency is minimum in case of AM, whereas it is maximum in case of SSB modulation scheme. A number of modulating inputs are 1 in other modulations, whereas VSB we can transmit 2 modulating inputs also. Applications of AM are radio broadcasting, applications of DSBSC radio broadcasting for generation of the SSB signals. SSB modulation is well suited for point-to-point communication. It is well suited for voice transmission in telephony. It is used for point-to-point mobile communication systems. Vestigial sideband transmission is modulation is particularly used for telegraph transmission as well as transmission of video signals in case of TV. The applications of AM, it is used for radio broadcasting. The olden days, we have totally depended upon amplitude modulation systems because there are no other modulation systems invented in the olden days. So the radios are of large size, and then VSB modulation is used for television transmission. Carrier system, they used amplitude modulating systems. Carrier telephony, initially they used AM modulation, later on SSB modulation is used in carrier telephony. This is point-to-point mobile communication. Two-way radios transmitting from one radio channels, that is traffic, police, military communication applications, two-way radios. And this is maritime mobile communication, ship and shore communication. Applications of DSBSC used for radio broadcasting, but particularly used for generation of SSB modulation scheme. Applications of SSB: radio telephony, telephone systems, landline telephone systems. They made use of SSB modulation because of less bandwidth and more requirement of channels. HF mobile communications, high frequency point-to-point mobile communications, multi-channel carrier systems. Multi-channel means many channels from one place to other. To connect rural villages to the Talika level headquarters, they used SSB modulation, multi-channel carrier systems in the olden days for the purpose of providing communication channels. Nowadays, we are using optical fiber communication with digital data communication applications. Applications of VSB: TV transmission for video signals, telegraphy. The various applications of the AM are: it is used for radio broadcasting. SSB applications: SSB is used only in radio telephony and not in radio broadcast. It is used for HF mobile communication. This is widely used in multi-channel carrier systems. VSB applications: it is more suitable for telegraph and television transmission of the video signals. So after listening to the lesson, you must be able to answer these following quiz questions. In which of the following schemes have less bandwidth? DSBSC, SSB, AM, VSB. The answer is SSB. SSB requires less bandwidth than all these modulation schemes. As we know that SSB requires a bandwidth is equal to half of the bandwidth of AM, half of the bandwidth of DSBSC, and VSB bandwidth is slightly higher than SSB. The various benefits of SSB are: the spectrum space occupied by SSB signal is only half that of AM and DSBSC signal. This greatly conserves spectrum space and allows more signals to be transmitted. The second benefit is that all the power of the carrier and other sidebands can be channeled into the single sideband, thereby producing a stronger signal that should carry farther and be more reliably received at the distance. The third benefit is that there is less noise in the signal. If the signal bandwidth is restricted and the receiver circuits are made with narrow bandwidth, a great amount of noise is filtered out. The fourth advantage is that there is less fading in SSB compared to that of AM. Fading is the fluctuation in the received signal strength, so there is a less fading in the SSB modulation scheme. AM system is employed in radio broadcast, TV broadcast, carrier telephony, all of the above. All of the above. Radio, TV, in TV, VSB modulation is used. Carriers, variation of the AM is used. Carrier telephony, AM is used. So all of the above. In TV transmission, VSB is used to transmit option A, sound, option B, picture, option C, both sound and picture, option D, control signals, option B, picture transmission. In TV transmission, VSB is particularly used for picture video transmission. SSB modulation is well suited for transmission of voice because of the energy gap that exists in the spectrum of voice signals between 0 and few hundred hertz. Where the baseband signals contain significant components at extremely lower frequencies, that is, as in the case of television and telegraphy, the use of SSB modulation is inappropriate for transmission of such baseband signals due to the difficulty of isolating one sideband. The low video frequency contains the most important information of the picture, and any effort to completely suppress the lower sideband would result in a distortion at these frequencies. And hence, these difficulties suggest another scheme known as vestigial sideband modulation, VSB, which is a compromise between SSB and DSBSC modulation schemes. In this modulation scheme, one sideband along with a tracer or vestige of the other sideband is transmitted. So VSB modulation is particularly used for transmitting television transmission of the picture signals. The advantages of the VSB modulation are the bandwidth is reduced considerably, the total power requirement is saved, the design of sideband filters becomes easy. The amplitude modulation employed in TV system is in the form of option A, AM, DSBSC, option C, VSBSC, option D, SSB. So vestigial sideband modulation is used for the purpose of transmission of video or picture information and television transmission, as I explained just now. And these are the frequently asked questions. One can answer these questions after listening to this particular video. Mention the advantages of DSBSC. There are so many advantages of DSBSC. Mention the demerits of DSBSC. Mention the advantage of SSB. DSBSC, there is a one carrier suppression, so it requires less power than AM. Whereas the advantages of SSB, there are so many advantages. One sideband and carrier is suppressed. We are transmitting only one sideband, so much of the power saving and also reduction in the bandwidth. Disadvantage is ideal filters, sharp cutoff filters are required. When we are trying to remove unwanted sideband, there is a tendency of losing the wanted frequency components nearer to zero. That is the reason we are suggesting another modulation scheme. List the applications of AM. AM is particularly used in AM radio broadcasting. Applications of DSBSC used in AM radio broadcasting, but suitable for generation of SSB. SSB can be generated by making use of DSBSC modulation. In DSBSC, we are producing two sidebands and pass the two sidebands through a SSB filter, and we get one sideband that is called SSB. Mention the applications of a single sideband. So single sideband, it is used in HF mobile communication, voice telephony, point-to-point communication system. List the applications of VSB modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation is used for telegraph transmission as well as a picture signal or video signal of the television.